So I was living with this girlfriend, and beautiful woman, very nice. But like, she started to accuse me of being a man-child. Usually when she would find me in my Star Wars underpants watching cartoons on my Xbox. This is 10 years ago. I don't have an Xbox anymore. It's broken. But like, we're at this stage of the relationship where you start asking, questions like, I love this person, but do I love her as much as I love Battlestar Galactica? So like, we each sort of have one foot out the door. And one day I'm working from home and I get an envelope in the mail, and it's my very first jury duty summons, or whatever you call it. And I get really excited because this is something adults do. They go to jury duty. So when the day arrives, I go down to the New York State Supreme Court building in downtown Brooklyn, and I'm very excited. And I in the lobby, I don't know if you've ever been, the security is just insane. They got metal detectors and X-ray machines for your bags and everything. And I'm always very nervous walking through these X-ray machines, because while I trust myself, I don't trust Yester-Drew, because Drew from before is always fucking me over and not studying for a test or something like that. So I'm always worried that I've secretly shoplifted or something like that. I'm always very, very nervous walking through these metal detectors, but I make it through. And I go up into the court room for the jury selection, and it is just like the movies. There's this salty old judge in a robe, and there's the criminal defense attorney who looks just like Jeremy Piven, and like immediately they tell us that the case that they're selecting us for might have us in there for 7 days to a month. And it is fucking pandemonium. Like, people are like, oh my God, like papers are flying, and then like people are claiming like they have sick relatives or they have a work emergency. Brand new viruses are being engineered in this courtroom for the sole purpose of avoiding public service. But me, I can't even think about it. Like, I am perfectly still, because at the end of the bench that I am sitting on, like a curly-haired angel, is Felicity herself, the actress Keri Russell. And I've had a crush on Keri Russell my whole life, and I'm thinking, oh my God, like I get to be in a real-life courtroom drama with America's sweetheart, like me, a poor immigrant boy from Canada. I just had all these fantasies of like being sequestered with her. And by the way, I know that she's married with kids. I know this because I Googled it like immediately. But I'm imagining us like being like best friends, and like me doing little Charlie Chaplin routines with our food in the cafeteria, And I'm like, I can tell her how much I loved her in that movie, The Waitress, which I've never seen and I never will. And like on top of it, like would we be stuck together like watching some boring, drawn out civil suit for a month? No. As luck would have it, this trial was a case in which a man stabbed another man 9 times. Like, could the day get any better? And so we took a recess for lunch, and I go down the street. And I go to a restaurant, I just shove a falafel in my head, and inside my brain it's just this Herman's Hermits like music montage of me and Keri Russell, palling around together, and my girlfriend like calling me immature, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, who's immature now? I'm going to a party tonight with Hollywood actress Keri Russell, nanny boo boo, and so like So I walk back to the courthouse like after lunch, and I get in that security line, and I notice that 2 people in front of me is Keri Russell. And I'm thinking, okay, this is my chance. Like, I have to say something to her, you know? And we're getting closer and closer and closer to that metal detector. and I'm thinking, like, what can I ask her about? Like, I went to NYU. She played an NYU student on Felicity. Like, what can I do? Like, I don't want to sound stupid. Like, I can't, you know. And this is before she was on that show, The Americans, so I couldn't ask her about that. You know? And Keri Russell goes through the metal detector, and I put my laptop bag on the conveyor belt, and you know, the next person goes through, and I'm just thinking, okay, I gotta think of something to say, and I walk through the metal detector, and nothing happens. And Keri Russell has stopped, and she's talking to a fan, and I'm like, okay, all right, now this is the moment, and I hear somebody go, "Stop that man!" And then 2 security guards grab me by either arm. And this is when Keri Russell noticed me for the first time. And for just a fleeting moment, we shared this look of terror and confusion. And then I am dragged to the X-ray machine, where there's this African-American woman who's pointing at the screen, and she's saying, "What is that?" And she points at the monitor. And in the monitor is the black silhouette of my laptop bag, in the center of which is a shape that any 12-year-old boy or sewer-dwelling martial artist turtle would recognize. It's a ninja throwing star. And she said, "What is that? Is that a weapon?" And I said, "It's a ninja throwing star." And she said, "Why, son? Why would you bring a ninja throwing star into a New York State Supreme Court building?" Which is a really hard question to answer. She's like, "Can't I just be a fucking idiot?" Clearly, I am an assassin for the Japanese mafia, and I was gonna throw it into the forehead of a star witness in the most awesome and nerdy courtroom assassination of all time, you know? So I'm just standing there stammering it. But here's the reason I had a ninja throwing star in my bag. By the way, I've flown with that bag like 4 times. So my friend was turning 40, and so I had bought him the traditional gift you buy somebody who is turning 40 when you're high and on eBay. I bought him weird German pornography and ninja throwing stars, you know? But then I learned that he was going through this really difficult divorce with his wife, so I was like, I'll keep the weapons, and I just gave him the porn, you know? So I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to say this to this woman. Is a present for someone, and she just goes, she just looks at me and she's like, "Jesus, what's wrong with you?" You know, I'm like, "I don't know what's wrong with me." And she's like, "How old are you, son?" And I said, "I'm 35." And she said, "Jesus Christ!" And I said, "I know." And everybody in the lobby just laughed. And I went home that evening, and my girlfriend said, "Drew, you are a child." And the worst part is, Keri Russell didn't get picked for jury duty, but I did. As an alternate, which meant I wasn't even gonna deliberate, you know? So I had to sit there every day watching this grainy footage of this guy getting stabbed over and over again, which is really boring if you don't get a say in it, you know? And by the way, the victim was fine. He was this good-looking skater kitty. I got a good story out of it. Anyway, I'm a monster. All right. But the worst part is every morning I had to walk through that security gate, and I had to hear, "You better watch yourself now, Ninja Star. Or the shredder's gonna get you." This is a silly one. So 6 months later, there's an epilogue, sorry. 6 months later, I am sitting in my kitchen and I am reading Google News on my laptop. This is 10 years ago. And there's a news item pops up on the screen. Steve Jobs, father of Apple computers, and by some accounts, an adult was stopped by security in Narita Airport in Japan because they found on his person a ninja throwing star. So I picked up my laptop and I walked into the bedroom where my girlfriend was reading a book, and I just plopped it in her lap and I went, ha 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 ha. And I spent the next several years single. Thank you.